don't break. We operate, eyes open, no fear. Through the veil, make it clear we do not fail. Liminal operators, liminal operators. The transmission and the static coming through. Liminal operators, liminal operators on the other side.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a very special evening alive with the Relic team. And I am so excited to bring this to you tonight. We have very special guests of the Relic team. And this 30-minute live is going to be followed by The Vanished. And that stars Adam Davis, just a true gentleman and a legend. Love him. And none other than Greg Ogles and myself. So we have the whole Relic team here to entertain you, answer some questions, talk about all the funny stories. And first up, let's bring up none other than the moistness himself, Mr. Greg Ogles. Greg, how you doing?
Hello. Doing good. How you doing, Natalie?
I'm great.
How you doing?
This is an exciting evening, isn't it?
It is. It is. You know, we are here in celebration of our 1,000 followers, kind of giving back to the community. Yes.
Yes.
Cough, clap, cough, clap. Yep.
Yeah,
So it's going to be a fantastic evening. I expect for us to have some good laughs and answer a few questions about the making of The Vanished.
Oh, it's going to be so exciting. So exciting because I know I had a blast. I didn't laugh that hard in years. My cheeks hurt after that the whole week of filming. So we had a blast, everybody. So next up is the legend himself, Mr. Adam Davis. Adam.
Good evening, Natalie. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this. This is a very unique and intense film. And obviously I did a lot of research to put it together and then put it to Greg. And then we cast you. So you were top of our list and you accepted. So I like this film. I like the intensity of it. And I like some of the things that happen that are truly unique. And, you know, one of the things I think, without ruining this, when people watch it, they will really go, oh, my goodness, I never, ever foresaw that. And I guarantee you won't. It's really special. You're very damn lucky, you people, having this for free for an hour and a half. Yeah. And you get us on top of that. It's like the cherry on top of a film Sunday. There we go.
Absolutely. And remember to subscribe to the Relic Films YouTube channel to watch The Vanished. Next up is our cameraman that filmed everything during our investigations in the forest of this film, none other than Jim Powell, the Night's Watch.
Woo! What's up?
Hey.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. What's about you guys?
How you doing?
How you doing?
So Jim, we had some really amazing times. You filmed so much, and you were with us during some really incredible moments. So we're going to get into here all the funny stories. But next up is the lovely, beautiful, fabulous Melissa Adair.
Hello, Melissa.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Melissa. How are you doing?
I can't hear anybody.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what happened. Is her mic? Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can all hear you.
There's a technical problem at Melissa's end, so maybe you need to go in and come out or something, Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give that a shot real quick.
Because it's just you right now.
Okay.
Okay.
If there's, you can always do a litmus test, because if I can't work something, then it means it's just you. So
I can hear you. I can hear you, Adam. I just can't hear anybody else.
No,
Oh,
that's
no.
all right.
Okay. I'll go out.
Well,
and come
they're
back
all talking shit anyway. You only need
That's
to listen
right.
to
All right. I'll go out. and
We're
come back in.
just, it's meaningless. We're just filling air.
them.
Okay.
anyways.
Well, I would love to know, and I know the audience would love to know more about this amazing film and how it came about. Adam, tell us a little bit more about what your thoughts were.
Well, the background was I live in the area of Tennessee where it's filmed. And before I came to Tennessee, I'd heard about the disappearing people cases. Dennis Martin, one of the cases that we touched on, as you know, and we researched, is the most famous disappearing case, the little boy that disappeared at the end of the 60s when he was 6 years old, up on Spence Field.
Mm.
And I went to Spence Field twice to do the research. I do not recommend that hike to Spence Field. It is a 13-mile round trip. It is very, and some very, very strange things happened to me on the second time I was going up there. It's a creepy ass place. There's no doubt about it if you go there. So I did that, but also I was interested in, and then I was thinking of the concept of a film, because by then Greg and I were buddies, and I was thinking about how we could maybe put together a viable film on this subject that we could do that didn't cost millions of dollars. Because Greg does have millions of dollars. He lives in an ivory palace, but he's very, very stingy with that. And only every now and again will he give out his gold pressed platinum bars.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have a lot of money. But what I wanted to do was get an interesting, gritty story as well. So I combined that with the Mike Heron story, which is the second story in the film. So if Martin disappeared in the 60s, Dennis Martin disappeared in the 60s, I wanted something more relevant. And that was the one that disappeared in 2008. So very recently.
Mm-hmm.
And it really touched a core in the community around here. You know, I remember when I was working, I was doing asset protection in a certain store. One of the women said, "Oh, I know one of the police who worked there. He had the picture, the map on his garage wall for ages trying to figure it out, trying to figure out why no trace of this man had been found." And I just thought we wanted a couple of stories. We'll do those. So I went down Happy Valley a lot. And one of the most exciting things you'll see in this film, without a doubt, ladies and gentlemen, is what happened in Happy Valley. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
near to where Mike Heron disappeared. It's truly remarkable, and it stands alone as one of the greatest investigation pieces of footage ever by any film company. I know that because I've made lots of films. So The Land Between the Lakes, for me, it was that whole scene with the Bigfoot things, which was extraordinary, and no one's ever filmed that before. So with this film, watch that scene in Happy Valley, and because what we find and what happens is really all astonishing. So the background was there was a lot of going to work all these ideas and get all these together and work it, and then obviously Greg came down and he went to Happy Valley as well, and we researched things, and we were looking for a female cast member, and what we wanted was somebody who was smart and who could hold their own and have the right dynamic for me as well, because I was going to be the lead. Yeah? And we didn't have any money, so the best we could do was you, Natalie.
The troll herself. Right here.
No. Of course, I'm only teasing Natalie. Everyone knows. The more I tease people, the more I like them. I do it as a compliment. So but that worked really well. And we were like, well, you were unknown, Natalie. So Greg and I were having a lot of worried discussions beforehand, like, what if she bombs? How are we going to cut this? Yeah. How are we going to cut this? What are we going to do? Yeah, she looks the part, but can she perform? Because not everybody well, you didn't do that on the camera, unfortunately.
I did.
Editing of that. But you were great. And, you combined with me really well. Mm-hmm. So when we shot the first scene together, me and Greg, we looked at one another and we were like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Goodness, she's going to be okay. Yeah, woo. Yeah. So that's how it all came together. There was probably about it had formatted in my head for about a year or two. I tried a couple of things out. I often try things out to see if they're going to work, and ideas out. And so that's how it came together. And then Greg and I worked on creating a story. Yeah. So I had an initial core of a story, and then Greg worked on that and built that in. So those alternatives, for example, when you meet Stormforce, that's completely his idea, and that's working that in. Yeah. Then you got running with the story because the stuff where the FBI investigation thing that you do, that was your idea. So we had a core narrative, and then we went off in little tangents, and because we trusted one another, that worked well. The dynamic we have on the screen is great. It really works. I'm really happy to say that, because not everybody, again, you can be really strong on your own, but you've got to be able to work with those people if you're going to do the film. So that's a longer explanation than I intended about it, but that gives you all the background. Yeah.
Thank you, Adam. No, that was amazing. And I had the best time. I'm so blessed. And we had a great dynamic, and Greg was so gracious and allowed me to just, test some things out. And he was just like, just go for it. So Greg, when you got the idea from Adam, what were your thoughts? What, your next steps, and this was a phenomenal event. Tell us more about your thoughts.
Well, when Adam first approached me about a missing persons film, I was a bit apprehensive because it just wasn't my forte, right? I had never done it before, didn't really know exactly how to approach it. But the more I started to research it, there was a lot of people who had made films about the Dennis Martin case, not so much about Mike Heron, but about Dennis Martin in particular. And I didn't want to do a same old film like everybody else had done, where it's just nothing but interviews. I wanted to touch on interviews, right? Do maybe 20-30% of interviews, and then do the bulk of it actually investigating to see if we could find out what really happened out there, to put some boots on the ground to see if we could find anything, right? So Adam came up with this theory with Mike Heron that, somebody, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go and just kind of test some of that theory, right? So, I went on a Bigfoot expedition, and oh my gosh, on that Bigfoot expedition, we weren't far, as the crow flies from the Smoky Mountains State Park. That particular event was just phenomenal. I mean, we actually had a Bigfoot to cross the road in front of us, and our camera wasn't running at the time, but it was my fault. I didn't tell Jim to have the camera running, but normally we would have that.
Jim was very green. It was his very first time, but it's okay. I own it. It doesn't own me anymore.
He was limey green. He was very lime green, So
it was either that or go crap in the woods or drive an hour down the mountain to Walmart. It'll get you nauseous. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway. But that did happen. We had a Bigfoot cross in front of us that was on all fours. That really happened, and it wasn't our only. Encounter with something that weekend, or that it was a long weekend. But it wasn't our only encounter. When we were actually filming the sort of a campfire scene. We had something come and count, and was like walking
around. Yes.
Yeah, I think we lost him for a second.
He's frozen.
He's frozen. He's lagging. He's frozen. So, Jim, you want to continue because you were there?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. He's unfrozen.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It is storming like mad here. Yeah, it is storming like mad.
About it.
Yeah. But that weekend during our campfire scene, we had another encounter. So that was interesting. But the most impressive thing was what we had caught in Happy Valley. And if you remember, both or all three of us, you, I, and Adam, were watching this light, so to speak, and we were calling Jim over. But I'll let Jim talk about what had happened to him and what led up to that particular moment when he got it on camera.
Right. And thank you there, Mr. Tim. I appreciate that. So it was pretty intense, man. You know, you guys are sitting there filming everything, and then all of a sudden I hear, you know, crunching of gravel behind me, you know, in a bipedal fashion. And I'm just like, well, I guess this is fixing to happen. You know, and to be fair, you know, Scott warned us. He's like, they come into camp a lot. And I'm thinking, surely to God, they're not going to really come in right now. Like, it's not that late. We have the entire place lit up like a freaking Christmas tree, you know, but lo and behold, you know, everybody's at the fire and it's just me monitoring the camera feeds. And here this thing comes, just slowly and deliberately walking down that path. So what I do is basically I have a spotlight that's got, you know, the normal spot beam and then a little LED panel on one side. So I turn it to the LED panel, set it on its tripod, and face it back behind me so that it knows I know you're there. And as soon as I do that, this thing, you know, stops and it runs down what is, gosh, practically a cliff at this point and books it on down there. I'm like, well, I don't know if it made it or not, but took care of that. And all of a sudden, I hear it again. It's coming up from the other side. Like it went down around and is coming up now to basically, if I'm looking at everybody at the fire, it's coming up on 3 o'clock. You know, it climbed up that cliff face and I can see kind of like a shadowy thing down there and brush moving. And this thing is like belly crawling on the ground. And it gets right up behind Nate's like camper tire and is poking its head out and watching us.
It's
like,
not.
Oh my gosh!
But Jim, what I think Greg's talking about is not so much that; it's the thing that you filmed in Happy Valley. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was it you that got the thing in Happy Valley? Because that isn't part of this film. So that what you got in Happy Valley was kind of unique. No one's ever captured that on camera before. So
I'm sorry.
So, no,
That's
it's
okay.
quite all right.
It's great.
You told an extra story because I'm paying attention
cool.
to the
extra
technical
story's
stuff over here. My bad.
But no, it's fascinating. But with it not being that long, could you focus on that and just
yes, Happy Valley. So
Yeah.
as far as Happy Valley goes, we're starting to hear metallic door sounds, and then we're seeing some lights going on. And basically, kind of before that really starts to come to a head, I essentially get zapped really hard, extreme nausea, dizziness, you know, just completely out of it. I basically lay down on my face to try to recover because it took me out that hard. I didn't want to start throwing up on my second shoot. And essentially the interesting thing for me that I noticed is, you know, laying down and getting out of the direction or proximity of the beam, you know, it is when I could actually start recovering. And then once I did, you know, things kind of still kept on ascending and kept on happening to the point where eventually more people started to notice. And then we looked up and there appears to be something a little bit amorphous going on. So I don't know how you guys would like to describe that.
Yeah, and you know, you talk then about the metal clanging. Well, you've seen that metal clanging. A lot of people have reported that phenomenon. That metal clanging when there's clearly no metal around. That clanging sound. You know, I know. Like Natalie, you heard that sound, and I know Melissa. We've talked about it. We heard that sound. You know, it's really strange. Yeah. What are your views on it, ladies?
Well, the metal sound that we heard it first and we just sat there and then we heard it again and it started moving closer. And then we heard it again. It was at the tree line.
Yeah.
And I remember within a moment or two from hearing it from the tree line, we got a flash, like a real bright flash. And then right after that, that's when everything started to go like with the little balls of light. And then that's when we saw that amorphous thing that we caught on camera. And by the way, we caught it on camera and it is in the film. We caught it for you all to see. So Melissa, tell us about, I know you saw, did we lose Melissa?
I don't know. Melissa's
We
gone
lost
as well.
Melissa.
But the point that Melissa was making, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, was that, she'd heard that metal sound when she'd been out Bigfoot researching. I've heard a few people hear that sound. And I was out on a ridge, and I wasn't far away from today. I've been out, as you know, researching.
Yeah.
I wasn't far away from where it happened last time. But I really clearly heard this door open. Yeah? Like a I can't even do that. That Jim can do a better sound effect with me, I think. but I clearly heard it open, and then weird stuff happened. Yeah, like it was, you heard that metallic clanging sound. Now I am miles from any metallic things. I am miles from anything that could generate that. So why is that happening?
Yeah. So Melissa, good to have you back.
Thank you.
So I know you have done a extensive research in the forest. Have you heard metal sounds like that?
Yes, I have. And a lot of the people I research with have had it and had really interesting experiences, because when you look on a topo map and the fact that we've marched all through that area, there's nothing out there.
Right.
There's nothing there. So it's like, what would have made that sound? We are miles from any sort of residence, any sort of road. I mean, what is it? What's making that noise? And of course, the theories are wild. I've heard all kinds of theories about what it could be. But yeah, it is a phenomenon associated with Bigfoot research. It's really interesting.
Now, when you've heard this in the forest, did you see orbs or any type of fairy lights or anything like that?
One time I did see just one small orb. I didn't see like a lot of them or anything, but I did see one. With the other researchers that I'm often in the woods with, or I'm swapping notes with, they too have seen like what we describe as the fairy lights, like the little shimmering lights, at the same time or right after they heard that metallic clanking noise. So they do. I don't know. I don't know if they're related or not, but it is very interesting.
Yeah. And I know that night we were seeing orbs and fairy lights as soon as we start hearing those metal sounds. It's really peculiar. And to your point, Melissa, there's nothing around when you hear these sounds. And I know, I think we've all heard them out there, and you're like, you have to second guess yourself. Like, is there something there that I didn't see? You look around, you investigate, and literally nothing is there. So it's just very bizarre, very bizarre. So what I'd like to do right now, we have about 5.5 minutes before the Vanished starts on our YouTube channel for everybody, all subscribers that is. Greg, do you have any words for our viewers that, the thoughts of going into this, of when they watch The Vanished?
Well, it's the film's a little different. So whatever your expectations are, leave them at the door, and just enjoy the show, because like I said, it's a little bit different. It's very good, but the conclusions will surprise you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Mhm.
Adam, any thoughts for our viewers that are going to be watching The Vanished for the very first time?
This will be a really intense film for you. So really, really, you're going to have to grip that couch, grip your loved one. Don't grip the cat, but grip something, whatever you need to grip, it's grip time. And I totally agree. I totally agree with Greg. The conclusions are extremely unusual and surprising. And you will see people in this film in actual physical danger during it. Yeah. So so you'll see that. Sorry, I was thrown by a comment there. That just made me really laugh out loud. So it's not very often someone catches me. That's hard, as Jim will testify. So yes, whoever that is, I don't owe you any money, and I'm not doing anything about it.
That we know of.
That you know of.
Allegedly.
So that's what I've got to say. It's going to be great. It's a great film. You know, I think, you know, all of us involved in this are rightly proud of this film. Yeah. And I think it is very unique amongst films. Yeah. Very unique.
Jim, any thoughts for our viewers going to watch it for the first time?
My thoughts are be excited, have an open mind, and be really thoughtful. Think about all the little doodads and doomerflotchies going on and what it could be. And also, I want absolutely everybody in the audience to have a question you want to ask, because after that premieres, we're going to come right back here and open up the lines just like we do on Liminal Operators. And if you guys want to come on and ask us a question personally, be sure you go ahead and do that, because that would make our day.
Yep.
Like we
We'll
said,
be here.
special event once in a lifetime. So get on it.
Yep.
I've seen some of these comments, and I'm already worried about what questions might come at the end of this. We'll just see. This is
I'm
hours
expecting
later,
iguanas.
what they're doing right now. Jim, they're already wrecked, and you're asking them to come on later to ask us questions.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
For a glutton for punishment. Melissa, you saw the film earlier
Yes.
this year. What do you have any thoughts for our viewers?
I do. You know, the thing that struck me as I was watching it is this is like a modern day real life X-Files episode. It totally is. And you've got a Mulder and a Scully, sort of, except there's not a real skeptic. Both people are kind of open to either side. And it's just, when you get to the end with the conclusions, it's just kind of mind-blowing, because you don't have that skeptic. Just, you know, you've got people that are more open to the unexplained at the end. And it's really crazy. It's really crazy at the end. But yeah, if you really enjoy chasing after the unknown or the unexplained, this is the documentary for you. You will be on the edge of your seat. You will see real live people that you know, that you follow on social media, doing these incredible things and making these incredible discoveries. And you're going to love it. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you subscribe to Relic Films channel on YouTube to watch The Vanished. This is an incredible film. A lot of work, a lot of love, a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and a few other things went into it. So make sure that you subscribe and go enjoy the film, and then meet us back here after the film is done. And that'll be at 8 p.m. And then
Eastern.
we will, I'm sorry, 8 p.m.-ish. Eastern time. Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then we'll be here waiting for your questions. So we have about 30 seconds left. Go subscribe now. Any last words before we end?
Yeah, watch the film and get the Relic app, because we've had our toilets blocked since this film actually was filmed. We've still not been able to unblock them. We're very poor. Like you know, there we are. So watch Relic, support Relic, because we use that money to make films. Yeah. Greg really isn't a 007 villain living on a sea island. Like I said at the start of this, he's got no money either. So we need to do this to make great films.
And the countdown is going literally right now. So
thank you, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you back here.
See you later, everyone. We'll see you at the end of the
bye.
film. See you.